So there is a certain subject matter I wanted to discuss for you Gundam players while you're playing this game or be getting into it or just don't want to get confused. What is the point of attack type change? What is its purpose? So pretty much the main purpose of type changes is just to change your attacks to a certain form that isn't physical to beam or beam to physical. What's the good use about that? Well, the best use is if your attack type changes to physical, you can beat out mobile armors with barriers that have beam barriers. So once you turn those beams into physicals, then the enemy starts taking damage and you don't have to worry about breaking a barrier to deal damage. So you can automatically just keep swinging. The whole point about beam is some units are weaker against beam damage, depending on who you fight against. And that comes into cut rate. So this is like a good example. So why it says damage cut rate, which means defense. So say you're fighting Hayayuku Shiki, and this is his beam. He's great against beam range, but he's weak. He's a tad bit weak against beam melee. So if you change a character whose physical is beam melee, if you change the character's physical to beam melee, yeah, I'm saying this right. That means you'll do more damage with your melee combos. But since Hayaku is actually weak to physical melee, say you want to change a beam character to a physical melee character, which that will imply when the match starts, you'll still deal damage. So that is something you just have to consider. Sometimes the difference between beam and physical, one does more damage to another unit. So an example like definitely a pretty good example is Burning here. He's great against physical and beam, so he's not going to take a lot of melee. So your main goal is going to be focusing on doing a lot of beam damage. So say you had range attacks that were physical, attack type, change those to beams, and you're good to go. And one last thing before we kind of conclude this attack type change, is the percentages up. So since this said physical range and I turned it into a beam, would that be affected? No. Why? Because this character starts off with physical range, so he keeps the percent damage up towards those attacks. Attack chain happens right when you enter the arena. The percent thing happens before anything starts. Once you log in, the percent is already implied. Then when you're logged in about to fight, then your move changes to that beam and or physical. But your percentage of what you added to your unit will remain, which means you don't have to worry about the attack chain affecting your stats. It's just for defense. It's mostly for, like I said, in conclusion, it's mostly for defense and Gundams that are weaker against a certain attack. So thanks for watching. Y'all be good. I'll see you around. Peace out. Hopefully this does help you guys get a better understanding of attack change.